Let's do it. We're going to start this off with Philia Diabel. Diabel's going to be searching for the Diabels. Diabel's is going to be discarding a spell or trap to then summon and send from the deck the Diablo Star Vengeance. Vengeance will banish a spell and trap from the hand or grave to reborn itself from the grave. Could also summon from the hand. So you do want to be careful about Bestials, as we have the Fia Diabel going to be boosting up the Diabels. Triple Tactics Tile with the draw 2. Into the thrust. Are we thrusting into a grass? Bro, you don't play grass? There's no grass in your deck? We're grabbing a Reasoning instead? Holy moly. Reasoning, the opponent declares a level, and we mill until we have a monster that is summonable. Continually milling. What did we declare? Level 3. That's definitely going to miss. Now, this card being milled is great, because if you could set this card if you have a 2,500 attack on the field. Well, if this is in the graveyard, you could just set it by paying 2,500 life. And then with the 2,500 original attack or defense in the field, this will spell, trap, or monster negate. So that does work with the Diabels, even though she's boosted, because she originally is 25. We have transaction rollback to copy a trap in the graveyard. Curse of Diabel searches for the Philia Diabel. He does play grass. He wanted the Reasoning instead. And you know what? The Reasoning milled more than what a grass would. Let's freaking go. Here is Diablo Star. Curse of Diabel, triggering to search our deck for Play the Diabel. As the Diablo Star sets into the back row, Deception Sinful. Let's further flip it up, tribute off the Diablo Star, as the Baldrake is now going to banish away the Diablo Star. We're going to use the Blackout Laughs, declaring Bestial Baldrake. Neither player could activate the effects of monsters while on the field. Now, the Baldrake still comes out, but its effect on field of being able to banish a monster from the extra deck, no good. Now, Hallowed Azamina, summon the Rasalago, as the Baldrake cannot even activate. Rasala going into our deck. Let's grab the Wanted Seeker, further searching for... Huh, we have another copy. What the heck? We have one banished, and the other is in our freaking hand. Let's freaking go. Wanted Seeker is going to return back the Deception Sinful. Let's Azamina Debtors come forth and summon into Sylvia. We have our Omni Negate, tribute off to negate anything. As the Diabel is going to banish 3 spells to special summon Diablo Star Vengeance, which already activated to try to reborn from the graveyard. Banish 3, special summon Diabel from the hand or grave. What the heck? I Bestial stopped your effect. And we're also going to activate the effect on summon, which is whenever you want. Destroy any card in the field that the opponent controls. Summon a Synchro Tuner from the extra deck. We have the Dragon's Mind, which you can only use the effect once per turn if you have multiple copies for the Omni Negate. What is going on? What is all of this back row? Sinful Morian will flip down a special summon monster. We have the Vengeance, which will be able to destroy any card in the field. We have the Poplar, which could go into the Snake Eye Vengeance. Yes, Snake Eye Vengeance will then be able to put a monster on the field into the back row. We then have the Azamina Determination, which is, I believe, a fusion summon into a possible disruption. We have the Dragon's Mind, which will negate anything, mate. And then we have the Sinful Spoil Awakening. If your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, and you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster, target up to 3 and return them back to the hand. So at least 6 disruptions. Dippity is here, but to return back the Dippity, we have to at least have 3 monsters on the field. Let's tribute off the Jerusalem for the Lubellion, which will trigger the effective Jerusalem to send a monster to the grave. Dealing with the Omni Negate Sylvia. Big on. As we're now going to chain Baldrake to banish away that Sylvia. Not negating, we're not doing anything crazy here. Are we going to get rid of the Lubellion before it activates with the Vengeance? Do we destroy it? We are going to use the Morian to flip down the Lubellion. Fiendsmith tracked. We are going to negate that with the Dragon's Mind. If we have an original 2,500 on the field, negate whatever we want, mate. Then from here, Engraver, searching our deck for the Fiendsmith Paradise. What? Transaction rollback is another disruption as it copies the effect of Curse of Diabel. All I know about this card is that when sent to the grave, it searches. We don't use the other effect ever, but we just did. What the heck was that effect? Destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls, not just monsters. All face-ups destroyed with the transaction rollback. That alone makes me want to play this deck. Holy moly. Engraver, return back the Dippity as we're going to Poplar Forest, Synchro Summon. We're going to chain the Vengeance to pop away the Bestial Lubellion. and summon the Sylvia. As we now go into the Snake Eye Vengeance, Snake Eye Vengeance could put a monster into the back row, and the Engraver's going to be flipped face down. Face down you go with Silvera. Send to the back row. Azamina Determination is going to summon the Saint Azamina. Saint Azamina has a quick effect of being able to summon from the deck or extra deck the turn it is summoned. That's exactly what we're doing. We're going to summon the Moa Regina. Moa Regina, in response to a Sinful Spoil or Azamina card, you have to be the direct chain link to the card, target up to 2 cards in the field, and destroy them. That's exactly what we're doing. We have no chain link block, no Bestial, and wiping away the entire field like a Star Source Dragon. This deck is not, I mean, I think that it's only nuts if you resolve a Reasoning or a Monster Gate or a Grass-Looking Greener, but that's 3 Reasoning, which is limited to 1 in TCG. That's 3 Monster Gate, which is limited to 1 in TCG. So we have 7 cards, plus Thrust to help search for them if the opponent has a monster in the field. That really did change the trajectory of this duel, having a Bestial on the field so that the Thrust could grab the Reasoning. But damn, you resolve one of those, you easily win. So my big question is, Marco, do you want to go second with this deck, right? Just so you can ensure that the Thrust is going to further increase your chance of being able to search for one of those much needed cards to mill your deck to pop off? Let's see if J-Flex forces Marco to go first. Branded, regained, pass. What? You what, mate? Okay. Philia Diabel searching for Diabels. Diabel's going to be sending to the Graveyard the Morium, which could reset itself back on the field. The White Witch will further send from the deck the Diablo Star Vengeance, which we're going to Ghost Bell negate. First we had a Bestial, now we have the Ghost Bell, stop it from reborning. Now the Fiendsmith in Paradise does absolutely nothing. We have the Philia Diabel boosting up the field. And so your question was, if he didn't mill, would his field have been as crazy? Well, as you could see, we didn't really pop off here. We would have had the Diablo Star Vengeance, sure, which would be able to pop and then go into another disruption. And then whatever we hard drew into, not part of our main combo is what we have. Dragon's Mind, being able to negate. Super Poly, nothing to discard. So we also have Droplet, double disruption. The White Witch herself does nothing, besides give you destruction protection if you control another Diabel. Damn. J-Flex. What the heck is going on? Max freaking C. We have Dragon's Mind negating the Max C. Spell, trap, or monster effect while we have a 2500 original on the field. That is a negate. Now, we are not even able to reborn our Diablo Star Vengeance because she needs to banish a spell and trap card from the hand or graveyard, which means we would have to get one of these spells in the graveyard. We can't. So that's it. We're going to have to pass. There you go. This is a graveyard deck. There we go. Primite Barrel off the top of the deck. By allowing Droplet to be activatable, the Diablo Star is coming out next turn. That's it. Now, Diablo Star is not going to summon a monster from the extra deck. That's going to be a problem. Because in order to summon a monster from the extra deck, you have to have another Diabel on the field. So it's just going to be a quick effect destroy at the cost of half of your life. But with the Diablo Star Vengeance on field, we could reset the Dragon's Mind. We'll at least have an Omni Negate plus pop a card in the field. Negating the effect of Requiem through the activation of our Impulse. Let's replay back onto the field our Deception Sinful. Curse of Diabel. We're going to be banishing a spell and trap. Reborn back in the field. We will also, the Curse of Diabel triggers when banished. That's nuts. We're going to be searching for the Leica Diabel, popping away the Fiendsmith in Paradise, resetting the Dragon's Mind onto the field. And exactly as I said, we have a pop plus an Omni Negate. And now we have a card to discard for the Super Poly. So triple disruption. Magnum Hut, 25-25. Let's go even. That's a great negate. We do not want that out, mate. Negate it. And also stopping the regain from drawing. No draw for you. Vengeance wiping away the regained as we now win the duel. Very well done. Azamina Diablo Star deck. Nuts. Limited to 1 Reasoning in TCG. Limited to 1 Monster Gate in TCG. We have them both at 3. This is the deck you're all sleeping on. Psychics versus, I have no idea what the heck is this. Parallel Teleport. Parallel Teleport will tribute a Psychic to special summon from the deck. Okay. We're going second. This is Maliss. Pre-banless Maliss. They got the ransom. We're going to clap them up. March here adding back to the hand here, but we got them under the effect of Max C, and they were not able to stop the. That's another issue with Maliss is against Fool Loss. They're able to make a ransom, then pass. They'll now have to make a white binder instead. Let's set up the GW further. He's cooking. He's going all the way. As we know how broken the deck is, well, you know, we are under Duel though, so it's not a big deal. Ransom, even though we are able to search, we are still wanting to make this because of how broken it is. Let's further go into the Splash Mage. Splash it up. Do we play the one that's triple darks? Triple dark fusion? We do not. So we're only going to be able to fuse 2 bodies onto the field. White binder, banishing. Cryptor, Ransom, come back. Ransom's going to pull a monster from the deck by banishing it. Looks like we already banished it. We're going to be reburning back the white binder. As we're going to set up GW. Oh my jeez, please just end this. Firewall, Lingaribo. Firewall return back. Come to me. Further going into the Allied Code Talker Ignister. Reborn. And that's it. Let's see what Earl GB could do. We have the emergency teleport. We're going to super poly right away in the draw phase, fusing away the red ransom and the Allied Code Talker. As we now have our Garura on field, let's now activate Max C. They're going to chain in response to Max C, cross out designate, negate the C, as we then chain our own Max C. We're going to chain to their Max C. We're not. We're allowing it. There we go. Duel is still popping up on the screen from the previous turn. Are we good? That's very slow. Wow, it's still happening. Jam, extreme session as we now emergency teleport summon from the deck. In response, we got a GWC, reborning a banished or engrave. That's going to be our white rabbit. As we now summon the Mind Procedure. Mind Procedure can search our deck for another teleport. MTP is going to non-target banish thee. As it was already summoned. Wait, we did not have a link on the field to even get the banishment with. You what, mate? Banish 3, red ransom. We have Cryptor. Cryptor's going to be the non-target banish here. There we go. Red ransom search, white rabbit reborn. Super poly fuse up with their field again. We do it again. Discard, we're going to use the Mind Procedure. We're going to summon the Axon Kicker Oracle. How good is this card? 1,000 attack, that can't be good. After this card is fusion summoned, it gains 1,000 for each Synchro Season link used as its material until the end of the next turn. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent would special summon, you can negate the summon and banish. If this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish a teleport to then special summon this back onto the field. Okay. You what? Got our mini Loba boost here. Since we used a non-extra deck Psychic. Is it now going to Typhon? How can we win this? How can we win this? 3,500 life. Garura draw a card. Teleport Fusion is here. March here, banish in the graveyard. Bam, 2,700 to the face. Not enough for lethal, but at 200 life, any banished small Maliss costs 300 life to come back, and the bigger ones cost 900. The only play that we could do is GWC gain life points. If we don't gain life points with GWC, we're not activating any of our mouse banish effects. Can't do anything. So when calculating lethal against Maliss, always check if you could drop them to 300. Lizardos is banishing Droll to reduce the Oracle to 0. Okay. We are going to be banishing the Dormouse. We can't bring it back. Backup Ignister, further searching for the Wizard. Let's access the codes. Boost if we want to. Ooh, negate the summon and banish it off the field just like that. Ain't no way. Link 4, be gone. Very well done. Allure of, he had to battle over it at least. When your opponent would, if the fusions, if it's sent to the graveyard by battle, it just reborns back at, oh, its attack and defense was reversed. It's actually normally a 29. You freaking what? Okay. Lethal damage. Well done. We had to battle over it first. All right. Very interesting. I think a lot of people are also quitting Shadowverse, right? Are there any ex-Shadowverse players in chat? Or are you still playing it? Engage. Come to us, our Lemnis Gate. Now, I guess we can count this as a disruption. It's a banish in the graveyard if we want to, right? Yes, target opponent's monster in grave, banish it. We could return multiple cards on the field back to the hand with the Lemnis Gate. We could draw and lockboard them. We could pop a card in the field. We can go into another form of disruption with the Lemnis Gate triggering in grave. It's about 5 disruptions, and we can't even Lava Golem them. Whoops. Filia Diabel. Summon from the deck if only your opponent controls a monster. Diablo-Star Vengeance, pop a card in the field. So we're now down to 4 disruption. Hallowed Azamina could use the Diablo-Star Vengeance, which could reborn itself back from the grave as long as we have a trap to banish from the hand or grave. Rosala Go will go into the deck unless it gets negated. Widow Anchor, negate, not today, mate. Is that the end of our play? We have no trap to banish to reborn back. Now we can Lava Golem though, so they lost a lot of disruption as they just have the Lemnis Gate. Now, you may be thinking, if they have a monster in their main zone, they can't activate this, right? Well, they forgot to put that restriction. It could activate whether they have a monster or not. Let's Hallowed Azamina send to the graveyard the Diablo-Star Vengeance we put in the back with the Snake Eye Chase. As we now summon, what the heck is this? On summon, target a card in the field and send it to the graveyard. Get rid of the multi-roll. Let's Lemnis Gate, returning 8 cards. 8 cards will then bounce 2 cards on the field back to the hand. Give the Lava Golem back. I don't want it. Is activates a standby phase to reborn? No, not reborn. Add back to the hand the Diablo-Star Vengeance. Okay. It was almost nuts. Now, Azamina's got nothing. 0 play. At 4,000 life. Is this the way? Hayate is going to send from the deck to the graveyard the Widow Anchor as we now go into main phase 2. Engaging a linkage into our hand, +1. Let's thrust another engage. Let's engage, search our deck, plus draw an additional card. Upstart Goblin is here. Kagari, add back the engage. Holy plusage. Continual, non-stop pot of greeds. Again, pot of greed, Upstart Goblin, draw again. As we set the Metal Foe Fusion, then send it to the graveyard, trigger its effect, draw a card. Did we have more than one, or we had that? Okay. It returns itself back to the deck. That's what it do. Camellia is here. We're going to linkage, send Camellia to the graveyard to summon from the extra deck a 0. 0 on summon can add a Sky Striker card from the graveyard or deck. We're going to grab the Lemnis Gate, reset it back onto the field mate, and we're going to reset the Widow Anchor, reset the linkage. Now, understand this ruling. If you use linkage, you can attempt to send the Widow Anchor, but it will get banished, and then you're not going to summon anything from the extra deck, so make sure you don't make that play. We've seen it. Hallowed Azamina is going to be returning back the Azamina Fusion as we now reasoning. Declaring level 7. Well, level 7 Diablo-Star, we called it correctly. Now it gets sent to the graveyard instead of being on the field. Hallowed Azamina is going to send the Diablo-Star Vengeance, and we still don't have a trap in grave. We need a trap. With a trap in grave, we could summon our Diablo-Star Vengeance from the hand or grave. Rosala Go should hopefully go into some sort of trap play, but it can't because it keeps on getting negated. Negate and taking control of. We know we gave them back Lava Golem, right? We did that. Okay. Let's Lemnis Gate again. Returning 1 card on the field back. We're going to keep the Lava Golem this time. 3,500 surely will have enough. The linkage is not enough, but the maxi is. We can't linkage. You have to have no monsters in the main zone to even use it. Very well done. 1-0. Let's go. All right. Filia Diabel, as we're going to Dramatic Snake Eye Chase, we're going to use the Hallowed Azamina. Let's Rosala Go. Let's go into the Rosala Go as we're going to Ash negate that mate. Ain't no way. Let's reasoning it up. Declaring level 7. We're going to mill until we have something special summonable. This can be massive as we're continually milling an endless onslaught of cards to the graveyard here. Now, there has to be something summonable. Lava Golem does not count. It doesn't end there because this would not be special summonable. We keep on going. No way. We're going to go down to one freaking card. There we go. Diablo Star. We called it correctly. Level 7. Wanted Seeker, return back a Sinful Spoil to draw a card. We have Foolish Barrel Goods. We're now going to activate the Azamina Determination, set onto the field Deception. We're going to Sinful Spoil Subdual to return the spell back to the hand. I don't, was the card setting it, making it not activatable? It could not be activated this turn. It is set, but then returned back to the hand. It is now activatable. Okay, makes sense. Deception Sinful, tribute off Rosala Go. Let's grab another Determination. Azamina, return back the Rosala Go, as we now have the Hollowed back. Let's Hollowed, summon Saint Azamina. The turn it summoned, it could summon a monster from the extra deck. We're going to go into the Moorgina, Diablo Star Vengeance, Reborn back onto the field. As we trigger Filia Diabel, so the Diabel's White Force is not going to get the attack boost since we summoned it later. We're going to be sending from the deck of Morian, which could reset itself back onto the field. As we have Deception resetting itself also. Now, the Saint Azamina could be quite interesting. Your opponent cannot target cards in their field, their grave, their banishment. Let's say they were to summon a Lacrima. Lacrima targets a card in the grave or banishment. That wouldn't even be activatable. Or this card on the field with card effects. And your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken. What that means, because you're familiar with Yubel, you're like, okay, you swing this in. That's all your monsters. You could summon a bunch of tiny little White Forest monsters and just swing them in, and they're going to take all the damage that you would be taking. We could pop a card into a Synchro. We could flip a monster face down. We could pop multiple cards on the field. We have the Moa Regina getting bounced back into the extra deck, though, for a Garura to draw a card. Upstart the Goblin. Some Sky Striker players are not playing Upstart because of Droll and Lockbird. We're going to Widow Anchor and chain the Linkage. As we're going to chain the Diablo Star Vengeance. So we now need to put another card into the field because the Linkage needs something to send on resolution. Goodbye to the Widow Anchor, and the Black Goat laughs. Now, this is quite interesting. Did we just deny Diablo Star Vengeance from not only popping the card, but also we now can't summon a monster from the extra deck to go into another form of disruption? Let's read how the card works. You are going to target a card, destroy it, then, if another Diabel is on the field, which it is, you could special summon a Tuner Synchro. Well, nothing after then ever happens if you don't perform before the then. We didn't destroy it, thus then we do nothing. Negate the Saint Azamina, negate the White Force, and because Shurit understands this ruling, he didn't waste a negate on Diablo Star Vengeance, knowing that it was not going to summon from the extra deck. Summon a Hayate, take control of the Diablo Star Vengeance. We're going to use the Azamina Determination. He's guessing what he's going to summon. Now, what's interesting about the Black Goat Laughs is it does not negate, it prevents the activate, thus you have to predict what they would summon for the extra deck to stop it from activating before they even summon it. Since this card on summon would send the Hayate to the graveyard, that's what we are suspecting they would want to summon. We are going to be summoning another Saint Azamina. What the heck? More than one on the freaking field? What the? Special summon to Sylvia. Morian flipped down the Vengeance. Bro, what'd you do? What did you do? This card was negated. Now that you flipped it down, you flipped it back up, it's not negated. Now, surely Shurit can't activate it, right? He can. He can. You could only use each effect once per turn. You means the player. So it says Moy and Shurit can only use this effect once per turn. And the effect is you are going to be pay half your life, then target a card the opponent controls, destroy it. Then, if another Diabel's on the field, you can optionally summon. We could destroy any card in the field if we want, right now. First, going to take out the Sylvia. Then we could activate the effect to pop a card in the field. Let's take out the Diabel's White Force, send from the deck the Ray. The question is, did we want to pay half our life points? Which I guess he didn't want to. We're now going to go into Zeke. The negated Saint Azamina is targetable. Shiziku's going to be searching in the end phase for... we can't search for Linkage, because Linkage is already in the graveyard. Otherwise, that's what we would want to do. We're now going to Sinful Spoil Awakening, reset onto the field. We didn't chain the Lemnis Gates within the end phase activated. The Lemnis Gates, why couldn't we activate this? We were supposed to, but we didn't. Did we mistake? No. Target cards in the graveyard. You have to target your Sky Striker cards to return them back to get this in the grave to turn it into a disruption. But the Saint Azamina says, You can't. You can't target your grave with your card that targets cards in the grave. Kagari targets the engage, right? Engrave to add it back. Can't do that. Can't add back. Oh my Jesus. All the different ways that the Saint Azamina could win the duel. What the heck? Azamina. The deck name is here. It is all about this. What the heck? You fusion summon this or special summon by tributing one Saint Azamina you control and one face-up monster your opponent controls. That is a kaiju-like effect. 1,500, 4K, 8,000 damage. What the heck else do you do? Each time your opponent activates a card effect, all monsters they control lose 500. Your opponent cannot activate cards effects with 0 attack. Wait, why did it deal 8,000? It was Sylvia? Read the Sylvia. Why would I read Sylvia? Sylvia just negates. She doesn't do anything else. Any battle damage your Azamina is doubled? What? Since when? Is she like a wolf furry? What is this? I never knew. Okay, 1-1. That was game number 3, unfortunately. The first duel apparently fell off.